Hello one and all, and welcome to a completely different MaxN'Mate video. I'm your only mate, and with me as always is...
You had no idea how to start this thing.
No, I did not.
I've been there so many times. I'm MaxOfFewTrades. Hey, how's it going?
Alright, so I was watching a random Team 4-Star video. It was Anime Dads. And I just got the idea, why not do that with RWBY?
I guarantee, I never saw that, but I guarantee the worst anime dad that I can think of wasn't even on that list. I can guarantee it. Regardless.
There were a lot of anime dads that weren't on there, and also some Avatar dads for some reason.
Ow, the eternal debate of whether or not that's anime. Delightful. Regardless, it's time for two single childless dudes to rate parenting ability.
Yeah, and so we're going with like mums, dads, and just anyone who's like a parental figure.
He's adding parental figures because without them, this is an incredibly small pool of people to choose from.
Yeah, so while they may not have a biological kid, if they've like raised someone to an extent, then I'd say that counts.
Absolutely. Plus, it's able to add a very specific character that I want to give high marks to when we get to them.
Ooh, okay. And, I guess we'll start with, Little Miss Malachite here.
Little Miss Malachite! You didn't even, you didn't remember her, you didn't know who her kids were, and I gotta be honest, that's funny as hell to me.
Yeah, okay, so there's also some people that might have completely missed this as well, but do you remember those two twins from the Yellow trailer, and... Oh, what chapter of Volume 2 was it? Wait.
I do not remember, but basically Junior's henchwomen is the best way to describe them.
Yeah, they're her kids.
Yeah. Which, I mean, to be fair, unless you went looking for that information, I don't know how you'd have it.
Yeah. I mean, they also, like, pop up in Roman Holiday.
Oh, they do? Well, that's
Well,
neat.
the twins and Little Miss.
Oh, okay. Well, so, hey, you read the side book that I don't know if Rooster Teeth ever really advertised all that much.
Yeah.
You learn many things.
You know what? That's just reminded me of a quick thing I'm just going to bring up. For this tier list, it helps when the characters have, like, you know, designs. Like, we've actually seen, like, a photo of them at the very least.
Yeah, we need at least some kind of physical indication of their existence.
Yeah. Well, that and a name. Like, okay, there's, like, one person who doesn't have an official name, but... Like,
we've also, I mean, like, we can assume every character in the show has parents, but we don't know their name, what they look like, or a single factoid about them, so they can't be here. Like, for all we know, Hardin's parents aren't bad people, but we have no way of knowing.
that would be a fantastic twist, honestly.
It really would. Regardless. So, Little Miss Malachite, I'm honestly going to try. I'm going to put as much effort into this as I can, but you go ahead and start.
From what I remember, I don't think, like, the parental relationship is that good. I don't think it is.
know. I mean, you'd know at least a little bit more from the book, but I mean, fact of the matter is that, I mean, the children have followed, are taking after the mother in the sense of they're doing crimes, like, you know, they're in the family business, as it were.
I mean,
Generally,
yeah, that is, like, one aspect.
And I mean, like, to be a bad person and to raise your child deliberately to also be a bad person is inherently its own kind of bad parenting, but at the same time, it means you're also successful in a way.
Yeah.
So it's weird. So it's like, on one hand, obviously a bad person and has obviously bad children, but if that's how she brought them up, can you say she did a bad job?
I suppose, like, initially I did want to put her in Lock 'em Up.
I mean, for no other reason than the fact that she's a legitimate criminal.
Yeah, but now I'm torn between that, bad mum, or just a Mom.
I feel like the weird ambiguity of the question of, if you raise a child to be bad and you succeed, are you a bad parent? Or I mean, you're a bad person, but are you a bad parent with your parenting ability? I think I actually have to put her in A, just dead in the middle. You can make your case, but it's as weird as it is. That's what I've landed on.
Okay, so next is how exactly do you pronounce her name again?
I don't know. I just know her as Neo's mom.
Carmel Vanille.
Okay. Caramel vanilla. Guy, get you. Ha 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 ha. All right. All right. Well, as a guy who read the book of which you could learn more about them, was there any real major distinctions made between her mom and dad, or were they basically essentially just one condensed mass of bad parenting?
Okay, I would actually say Carmel was the better parent.
Okay.
Like, there were times...
What would be the reasoning?
There were times when Trivia, I guess I should say,
Neo's birth name,
did act out, like, a fair bit, maybe broke some stuff, but Carmel felt like she was, like, trying to, like, try and understand her daughter.
Did she...
And, like, have her back
right.
more.
Did she ever directly abuse her, like intentionally?
I guess the worst thing she did was, like, slap Neo into oblivion.
That's pretty goddamn bad.
Yeah. Okay, for context, when Trivia was young, she had an imaginary friend that she called Neo and brought to life with her semblance.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then Carmel was just like, and boom went Neo.
Okay. Oh, okay, so she slapped the illusion.
Yeah, slapped the illusion, not her daughter.
Okay, she didn't slap the ever-loving crap out of her daughter, out of her semblance illusion. Okay, that's significantly different. I mean, probably not the best way to go about helping your child navigate their mental sickness.
And then there's, shipping her off to a school.
Okay. When you say a school...
I forget what the actual name is, but it's like a girl-only boarding school.
Okay, so a boarding school isn't an inherently bad thing. Unless the place was specifically bad. Do you know anything about this school?
Well, I mean... it was... Okay, spoiler alert for people who haven't read the book yet.
Yeah, we have to get into spoilers for the sake of this. Go ahead.
Okay, it did turn out to be part of Little Miss's criminal underworld thing. Basically, it trained girls to, be in positions of power or be with those who were in positions of power, and they were given, this pin that showed that, yeah, they attended that school. The pins were fitted with cameras, so Little Miss could just, blackmail any, politicians or, powerful people to, get what she wanted and, move her crime syndicate,
How complicit was Carmel to this? Did she know that these were things that were happening?
I don't remember if she did.
Because, I mean... Putting your child in a in a terrible situation is bad, but if you honestly truly had no idea that it was happening, that makes a difference. Okay, well, I have not read the book myself. I'm gonna have more to say about everybody else, but at least from the way you've described her, it sounds like the worst thing she did was possibly be complicit to her, to Neo's father's more intense actions.
Oh yeah, we'll get to him next.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is, I assume he's the one who did the real bad stuff, and I'm just wondering, did she try to stop him at any point, or do we even know?
Alright, when he got mad at her, she did, like, jump in to defend Trivia.
Okay, that's not nothing. That's not nothing at all.
And there is this moment when Trivia snuck out, got brought back by the police, and... Like, once she got home, Carmel seemed, like, legitimately, like, oh my god, are you okay? Like...
Okay.
That sort of thing.
Then
So I'm at least willing to put her in, like, a mom/dad.
Bare minimum, as I'm going to be honest, this is right. I honestly went into this expecting her to be a much worse person than she apparently is. Yeah, not the most interesting place to put her, but I guess I'll have to agree. It seems like she was a woman who tried and just wasn't able to. I would put her ahead of Little Miss Malachite.
Yeah. That feels about right.
Because it doesn't seem like she wanted Neo to be miserable. She just, for whatever reason, was unable to help her live that life.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
It is. All right, so quick question. Firstly, what is Neo's father's name?
Jimmy.
Okay. Now, correct me if
it?
I'm wrong and remember... Yeah, I get it. These names. Correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm misremembering, but didn't he try to blow Neo up?
Okay, he didn't directly try to, but... Turns out he was hiding a big stash of dust underneath her bed.
Gotcha, and that's volatile stuff.
So she was sleeping on a bomb for most of her childhood.
Okay, alright. Deliberately malicious? No. Horrifyingly negligent? Yes.
Yeah, plus he was, like, the one who, like, got quite angry at Trivia more often than not.
Did he ever strike her? We not know.
It's been a while since I've gone through the book. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay, well, I mean, if you can't explicitly remember something, then it seems unlikely that I was directly told. Okay. So, was this man basically a criminal?
No, he was, well, he dealt with, criminals. I think he was, like, involved with the Vale Council.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a councilman, I think.
Okay. Well, I mean...
But he did some, like, shady dealings with, Junior's dad.
Okay. Unless you have more concrete actions that we can place him on, I mean, I'm obviously bad dad bare minimum.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like...
part of me wants to, like, put him in, lock him up, because... Like, hit a bomb under his daughter's bed.
Right. I mean,
like,
I guess my main
that's
question
messed
is,
up.
It's really messed up and negligent, but I'm curious about the level of intent. Like, was that an insurance policy to keep her in line? Was that just
okay, no,
where
it wasn't,
decided to keep it?
It wasn't that. It was because, like, he had all this dust, like, stashed away.
So, would you say,
he's gonna hide it when no one would look, and who would look under a little girl's bed?
Okay, so basically, we could sort of equivalence this as saying, like, someone who, like, hid their drug supply underneath a child's bed.
I mean, I guess if that's,
I mean, I'm trying to compartmentalize it all in my mind and try to judge everyone as fairly as I possibly can. I'm gonna put him in. I would put him in bad, but if you really want to put him and lock him up, you're free to do so. It's just, in my eyes, it seems like he's a bad person, a bad father, but wasn't actively trying to be a horrible person to his child. He just kind of was residually.
I mean, yeah.
That's how it looks to me. Like, clearly a bad person, but like he didn't beat her or do anything, like, exceptionally screwed up. He was just negligent and endangered her,
and
through one method or another.
And there's also, like, constantly, like, telling Trivia to speak, even though she can't.
Yeah, okay.
And you know what? This was another thing I should have brought up. So you know
Please
how Neo has heterochromia?
I do.
Yeah, these two were kind of ashamed of that. Like, that family photo, they forced her to wear a brown contact over her pink eye.
I see.
And
that is still...
always wanted that hidden.
Alright, that's still bad and negligent. But not a crime. It's just messed up.
Yeah.
Like, considering some of the other people we're going to be getting in this list, they honestly don't seem too horribly horrific, I guess is where I'm landing.
Yeah,
That's all I've got, though.
Alright, so starting with, okay, she doesn't have an official name.
Mm-hmm.
She's just
And
credited as Red-Haired Woman, but let's be real, we know this is Pyrrha's mom.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any actual direct confirmation or denial on it, so we're just going to assume as such.
Yeah, I mean, who else would it be? I mean, maybe sister.
Maybe her older sister. Maybe, but, like, whatever. Good enough for our purposes, I suppose. We got very little to work with for this one. She just seemed kind, did her best to help console Jean, who I can only assume she didn't know the history of him, so it was more so she was just being nice to a stranger, is my guess.
I wouldn't be surprised if, like, I wouldn't be surprised if she did, because I imagine, like, Pyrrha would have, like, I don't know, written home or something, and maybe had a photo of her team.
That's possible, yeah.
Well, then if that's the case, then why'd she disappear when Red and Nora showed up?
That's the thing. Why? I mean, that's part of the weirdest thing about her, is her just vanishing like that. Like,
which spawned a theory about that actually being Pyrrha's ghost.
Which is weird, because why would Pyrrha's ghost have worse eyesight than when she was alive? How does that work? Okay, well, assuming that this wasn't a ghost or a hallucination, and was in fact just a particularly shy woman, I guess.
I mean, maybe. Maybe, because we could see that she was tearing up. She's at her daughter's statue, still grieving, obviously.
Right, obviously.
But,
oh yeah,
I don't know, maybe, like, more people showing up would have been a bit overwhelming. Maybe that was the case.
Unless the show ever wants to give us more context, we just have to go with what we've seen. And what we saw,
I'm at least willing to put her at, like, in A, like, above Carmel and Little Miss.
I would. I mean, it's mostly a complete and total lack of context with her, but, I mean, what we got from her, I can see, was, conceivably, a grieving mother who, even in her grief, tried to help console someone that she may or may not fully have known. Seems like a pretty good person to me.
Yeah.
And, I mean, she raised Pyrrha.
Who was a fantastic person.
So we can only assume she had to at least... at the very least, I'd say, like...
You want to put her in good?
She's either number one of the neutral tier, or at the bottom of the good tier.
I
don't know. I mean, I'm
gonna put her in the good tier because, unlike Carmel and Little Miss,
that's part of it. Like, I don't feel
her kid turned out to be a good person.
Yeah, let's go with that. There you go. Pyrrha's great. Parents must have done something right. And I just did not feel comfortable putting her next to those two.
Fair enough.
Alright. Continue.
Alright. Starting with Anne Wren.
Yes, the person whose name you did not know, but to be fair, in your defense, I also did not know her name, and I forgot what she looked like.
Yeah, okay, so in Ren's flashback, we've got his mum.
We have like a combined maybe 45 seconds of screen time for both of Ren's parents.
Admittedly, but like, what we got of like Ren and his mum, that was sweet.
It was. No, I have no doubt in my mind that they were good parents. Just, ripped from their child at a very bad, point in time. Like, that's my best guess. I mean, again, Ren's only real major issues stem from the fact that they were horribly murdered in front of him,
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, it's like, and that's not their fault. They tried to save him.
Well, I mean, his dad did, and he didn't really get the chance.
No, but I mean, there was an attempt. Andy's didn't die, so I mean, it's something.
Yeah, alright.
They're good. I'd call them good parents, from what we know. I mean, a bad parent or even a neutral parent wouldn't make a last stand against a horrifying monster for the purposes of trying to.
I like how when we're talking about when to place, and we're also talking about his dad.
They're so good. Like I said, there's like a combined 45 seconds if you fuse them both. Like, what are we supposed to do?
I mean, yeah, we only got like the one flashback.
Ren's mom seemed really sweet, and Ren's dad seemed pretty badass and very resolute in protecting his family.
And like teaching him a valuable lesson when he just watched Nora get picked on.
Yeah, so, to fight against inaction. Don't just stand there like a derp. So, they're obviously good, but, the lack of actual information is going to have to put them slightly below things. I would put them above the potential Pyramon because...
Why does this
we have slightly more context for these two, and also we've seen them interact with their child. So...
Wait, where do you want... Oh, what's his name?
Put him in between. Put him in between.
I think his name is also Lai, just without the E.
That's weird. You already looked like an old man Ren. Come on now.
Well, right. Old man Ren / Hanzo from Overwatch.
Yes.
And funny enough, also uses a bow and arrow.
Which I think I think that's because they deliberately even said he was partially a reference to that, or at least design-wise.
Makes sense.
Oh, all right. That's the best we can do for that.
Okay.
But now we have again. Continue with the no names and the obscures. Let's get those guys off the list.
Okay. So, Madame.
I see it. Yeah, like
that's what she's named. Like listed as in the credits.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So Cinder's adoptive mother.
I mean,
as a person, screw this woman.
Horrifyingly abusive. She literally adopted a child to get slave labor out of them.
Basically.
That seems like lock 'em up territory to me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how well she might have done with her biological kids.
No, I mean, if you by in the eyes of the law, Cinder was her daughter, and she specifically adopted her for the purposes of putting her into slave labor. She is a horrible person. Lock 'em up.
Yeah.
No questions.
Is there anyone else in particular you want to get out of the way?
Who's that? Who the hell is that between Salem and Saffron?
Ozma.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Like, who is that? It was confusing the hell out of me for so long. Okay, then I think we can work our way up from the bottom to the top from here now.
Okay, so we got Pietro. This poor man.
This man, dear God. Like, what is there to... Okay, you know what? Bare minimum, we're talking about a guy who literally gave a part of his physical essence
twice
to give life to a daughter that he very clearly adored.
Yeah, and look, just remember that scene when, before Penny, lifted Amity Coliseum, and he was like, I don't care about the plan, I care about my daughter!
Exactly. And, the entire idea behind Penny was to make a weapon, and he did not let that happen.
No, Atlas wanted a weapon, he wanted a daughter.
Pietro was unquestionably a very good parent, I feel. I mean,
and
we know Penny. We know how good of a person Penny was. She had to get it from somewhere, and everything says it came from him.
yeah, like, man, like, part of me's dreading when we see him again.
Hopefully we do. I hope. It still bugs me that we just kind of left him hanging where we did. Yeah, he's either... I mean, he's...
Yeah, he's going to the top of good for now, at least.
Yeah, for now. When we're like done rating everyone, if we want to slide him up a little bit, we can figure that out.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. All right, so...
Saffron and Tara.
We do not have much to go off of here.
We kind of just have like the few episodes, but from what we have, we can, tell they're good.
Yeah, no, they are good parents. I mean, I can tell that they're good people and they're raising their child well. I have no idea where the hell the child came from, but that's not the point. They seem to be raising it correctly. They took in Saffron's brother and his friends for a while, So, obviously, they're also accommodating. They just seem like all-around pretty solidly good people to me.
Yeah, also, like, that one moment with Saffron and baby Adrian, just like, okay, now. And then he just, like, starts crying, like, on cue.
Yeah, she's trained the baby in tactical warfare.
Well, maybe not, like, training in tactical warfare, but we can tell, like, that they're, like, in good sync.
Yes, they clearly have a very deep bond. Unquestionably good parents. I'd probably...
I put them just below Pietro.
Yeah, I put them below Pietro, but above Ren's parents, just because we got more with them.
Oop.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a little finicky. It's okay. Don't worry. There you go. All right. Okay.
All right. Ozma. Okay.
Okay, so there's some stuff to talk about here. Not a bad father at all.
No. In fact, I would be willing to argue good, because... Okay, in the flashback, when he realized, Salem wants to bring the relics together to, like, end the world, basically.
Yeah.
His first step? Get the kids out of there!
And, by Jove, look, regardless of how it turned out, we're looking at intent and goals here, and his first thought was the protection of his own children. And even if it didn't work out, that says a lot. Man, you ever stop and remember that entire scene? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That show gets dark sometimes.
It really does.
Ugh. So, I mean, way I see it, good father who fought and essentially died protecting his children, and he may not have succeeded, but I mean, that's not nothing. So I don't know if that puts him above Pietro, but I mean, it at least puts it like next to him, I'd say.
Oh, so you want to go like above Seth and Tara?
I mean, he clearly loved his kids. That's that was the I mean, if you have a like alternate takes or a case, I don't want to be the one directing the entire flow of this. Like, if you have something like a strong thought or feeling or belief, then let it be known.
No, I think that's a good place for him for now, at least.
Okay, like we can wiggle it around if we need to later.
Yeah, and okay. Now, in that flashback, we did see that Salem clearly did love her daughters.
Until she murdered them.
Yeah, that's the thing.
See, she seemed rather lovely. Until she murdered her kids. No, I don't see anybody being worse than her.
Yeah, well, okay. Alright, so we're putting her in, lock him
Putting her
up.
and lock her up, and you're gonna have to give me a pretty strong argument to explain why she won't be at the very, very bottom for the entirety of this. Like, can you think of anybody worse than this?
Debatably, like, we'll get to him.
Okay, all right. Hey, we'll get there when we get there.
So you want to put her, like, below,
I mean, one abused the hell out of their daughter. The other one murdered them.
Okay, yeah, true. But, I mean, the one thing I can say about Salem, she did show that she did love her kids.
She did.
This person didn't.
Until she murdered them. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna let that go. She is not a good parent.
Actually, yeah, I guess, like, yeah, no, that, I don't know why I was,
I understand that you're trying to give everybody, like, the strongest debate possible, but at the same time, it's like,
sometimes there's, like, no point in even trying.
There's nothing. No, she's gone. She is a bad person. She murdered children.
Okay,
this next one's fun, though.
Yeah, this next one isn't, like, a biological or even, like, legal parent, but did help, like, raise, Cinder in a way. Rhodes, and,
Yeah.
I have a lot to say about this man.
I've been saying a lot, so please, take the floor.
Alright. I'm willing to at least put him above Jimmy.
I would agree.
I'm putting him in bad because this dude, like, he must have had some inkling about what was going on with Cinder. And rather than, I don't know, contact any kind of authorities or get her some actual help.
Alert anybody at all.
Yeah. Trains her to fight and then leaves her a deadly weapon.
I can't, personally, just very briefly, I can't get over the fact that this guy's plan was, all right, Cinder, I'll train you how to murder people and give you a deadly weapon, but don't you kill your abusers.
Yeah.
Like, what is that plan?
Hell, like, dude, you're a huntsman. I'd argue that kidnapping her and raising her as your own kid would have been the lesser of two evils.
It very much would have.
And you know what? That would have gone on to help save the world.
I mean,
just saying.
Had you yoinked her away, I feel like she probably would have at least ended up a better person than she ended up because you left her in the house where she was abused for many additional years.
Yeah, like, or even maybe not like kidnap, but take her to the police.
Yeah, take her somewhere,
and,
anywhere.
You know,
anything would be preferable.
And show them the scar underneath her necklace, and they would discover, oh, this is a freaking shock collar.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, yo, found this horribly abused child. Somebody somewhere had to have been able to accept that.
Yeah, but
Rhodes strikes me as a man who tried the best he could, and just happened to also really suck at it.
Yeah. So I'm at least willing to, like, put him above Jimmy.
Yeah. He was trying to do the right thing. He just failed.
Actually, you know what? There's an interesting, like, what-if scenario. What if Rhodes actually raised Cinder right?
I mean, only good things, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Alright.
Sheesh.
But speaking of good things, you'll have a lot to say about this one.
I sure will.
Actually, you'll have a lot to say about the next three. Starting with Klein.
Alright, we'll start with Klein then. Klein is Weiss's real dad. And I don't mean that in the biological sense, as far as we know. I mean it in the... Dude loves the hell out of her, would do anything for her, and did everything within his limited power as a butler to take care of her in every conceivable way. You just know, he saw all sorts of horrible things as the Schnee children grew up. You know he did. And unlike, say, someone like Rhodes, he was not in a position of power to do anything about it. So instead, he basically devoted himself to just trying and making their lives that tiny bit better in any way he could.
Yeah, like, I could see a scenario where, say, like, Weiss, Winter, or even Whitley were, like, sent to their room without dinner or something. He would totally, like, sneak them some food and take it to them, like, just discreetly.
Entirely. 100%. He absolutely would have. He is a very, very good person. And considering it was not in his job description, he had no actual reason to, but he still went out of his way to try and be just the best possible person he could be for them. And it's obvious, to me at least, that a lot of the reason why that at least Weiss was able to comprehend and you know, internalize positive messaging and becoming a better person.
Oh yeah,
a large part of that came from him.
Yeah, if Klein wasn't around, all three of the Schnee kids would have turned out a lot worse.
Absolutely, I have no doubt of that in my mind. I am absurdly biased on this one, so please feel free to deduct points if you want to, okay? Because I admit to being biased here.
Can't actually think of anything to deduct.
Like,
I think Klein is just solidly, like, you know, top of good.
I want to put him there. I really do. I mean, it's so weird because you have to justify, like, I have to justify, it's like, okay, well, why would you put him above Pietro? And it's like, well, he did a lot for Penny, Pietro,
but
and I respect it, it's good.
Klein's basically done that with 3 times the amount of kids.
He did it with more children, and he had he didn't ask for it, and no obligation to do it, and yet he did.
Yeah.
I think that makes a difference.
Yeah. There's also, like, in Ice Queendom, when Weiss was sounding off the beacon, he saw her off.
The only one who did, by the way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm putting him at the top of good, personally.
Yeah,
If it were me, I'd put him up even higher, but we'll keep him on this one for now.
Yeah. Should we actually address, so for, like, best, are we just, like, reserving that for, like, I don't know...
I feel like that...
Are we putting people in good and then debating, who should go up to best?
Yeah, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. We'll basically look over all of the good mom dads, like the top of good mom dads, and see how many of them deserve titles going up above to best.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
I like that idea. It also kind of, you know, it makes you go, oh, all right, then, you know, gives you something to wait for at the end.
Yeah.
So
okay, now the polar opposite of Klein.
Jacques Schnee. All right. Okay. All right. I have to actually be fair, and I hate that. Out of everyone so far in that tier list, he is the best of Lock 'em Up. However, his many, many, many years of psychological and occasional physical abuse means he can't go anywhere but the worst possible tier.
Yeah, no, he's in Lock 'em Up for sure.
Yes, I would put him above Cinder's adoptive mom. I would.
I'd argue putting him below because, well, while she abused Cinder, Jacques abused all 3 of his kids.
That's very solid, and you know, I very much did not need a lot of convincing.
And, well, unlike Salem, he didn't kill any of his kids, has never shown any kind of affection towards any of them.
Oh, you're making a good point.
So...
Oh no, I was trying to be fair, and now you're You're basically handing me an excuse.
So it's like, do we put Jacques above or below Salem?
Do I put him above or below the genocidal maniac? Okay, well, you know what? Okay. You know what? Okay. This is... God. I mean, it's hard... Part of me is trying to judge them purely through parenting skill, and another is judging them through their strength of character.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing when you're doing something like this.
And I'm just trying to figure out where to draw the line on it, because, I mean, if we're also just adding on to the fact that John's fine. Jacques, I mean, extraordinarily massive racist, probably got tons of faunus killed in all manner of mining accidents and stuff, like, and I have to just disregard all of that. Okay, that's true. It bothers me because, God,
this guy just sucks.
I hate him so much. I would say I hate him far more than I do Salem, personally.
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
But
there is another thing I would say, like, justifies putting him below Salem.
I'm listening.
Yeah, him just revealing to Willow and his whole family that he only married into that family for, like, the name, power, and just, you know, monetary gain on Weiss's birthday!
Dear God, okay, I want to make this clear. I am wrestling in my brain. It's just like, okay, he's emotionally and occasionally physically abusive. He's a horrible person. I despise him intently. But then my brain is also telling me, but he never murdered any of his children. He never put a shock collar on any of them. But then you keep telling me about how much he's hurt Weiss, and I literally get actually angry. I just put him at the bottom, okay?
Yeah, like, I think we're all thinking it as well.
Look, I can fully understand 100%. But statistically, is he worse than the person who murdered his children? Probably not. But I tried. Blame Mate, all right? I tried. I tried putting him at the best of the worst, and Mate brought me down. He pushed the Weiss trauma button, and I'm angry now. I tried, and I don't want to try anymore. Screw this guy, I'm glad he's dead.
Yeah, I just like to point out, of the lock 'em up tier, only one of them is still alive.
So far.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's because Salem's a morsel.
She'll die somehow by the end of this.
Yeah.
Count
Alright.
permanent steal. Look, if they, like, trap her in some kind of alternate dimension for all of time, I count that.
Actually, yeah.
Anyway.
Alright.
Willow.
Willow's
Willow.
admittedly an enigma for me because, okay, she's trying to do better now. Absolutely.
But, yeah, no, without question, she is actively, currently, doing her best to be a better mother right now. But
there are all those years she spent,
neglectful as hell.
yeah.
We saw how she's interpreted in Ice's, in Ice Queendom, how she's interpreted as a barely even existent, like, drunk shadow that plays no role in anything. That says a lot when it comes to the neglect on display.
Yeah. I would actually want to see a flashback of, like, the Schnee family before Jacques had that, like, dropped that bombshell.
I would. I honestly would. I want to know what kind of mom Willow was before everything fell apart and she just, like, caved in, you know?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, God, and I hate it because she's literally an abuse victim.
That's the thing, too.
She is literally an abuse victim, and she wants to do better now. And from the very small amounts we've seen so far, she's doing a good job of being better now.
Oh, yeah.
But this is at least 10 plus years of just having completely given up and they're basically letting her children fend for themselves.
Well, okay, it can't be 10 plus because, like, she went into alcoholism after Weiss's 10th birthday, and when we see her first in the series, Weiss would have been 17.
You're right. Okay. All right.
So,
okay.
Just shy of a decade, but that's
just
still
shy
a long
of a decade
time.
It is. It very much is. If I could have just the tiniest sliver of context about her parenting style before it all went wrong, I feel like that would help a lot.
Yeah, but at least, like, with the clips that we do have, she does help the group, and even uses a summon to save Whitley.
I'm going to personally I would put her, and feel free to debate if you disagree.
Okay.
I would put her at the top of A Mom Dad. He's like the best of the mid-tier.
I put her either there or at the bottom of Good Mom/Dad.
Okay, you know what? I agree. Let's put her at the bottom of Good Mom Dad, and with the expressed belief that she's only gonna get better as she goes.
Oh yeah.
So she never went out of her way to harm her children in any capacity, and she's broken through her malaise, and she's trying to improve, and I personally believe that she will.
Yeah,
so
totally.
I'd say bare minimum putting her at the very bottom of good is also future proofing this list. Whereas if she's not in the good tier yet, she will be by the end.
And
yeah,
you know what? There is that epilogue animatic.
Yeah,
like,
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though literally everybody in Vacchio hates her, she's still trying to do the right thing. So,
yeah,
progress.
And it's still like trying to be there for like Winter and Whitley.
Mm-hmm. So,
Man, I want to see like just her when Weiss shows up.
I want the Schnee family reunion so badly. Whew, but that's for another time. As it stands,
we want a Schnee that reunion.
Yes, I do. I accept Schnee puns, but only Schnee puns. So yes, Willow, a good chunk of time, not great, but doing better. And will continue to do better. I accept this.
Okay, here's where I have a lot of
Indeed.
Okay.
I have questions to ask you when it comes to rating them, but please go ahead.
All right, Gero and Kali. This might just be. I'm trying so hard to put my bias aside.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, I would still argue, like, at least in contention with, like, Klein and Pietro at the top of, like, the Good Mom/Dad tier.
I mean...
Because, okay, we're talking about Gero and Kali, obviously.
Yeah, state your case. State your case.
And, like, look, they did their best to raise Blake. Like, she ran off, but they were just like, you know what? She's doing what she believes in. Like, we may not agree with, like, what those people are doing, but we have faith that she won't go down that path. And she didn't.
Miraculously, they were entirely right.
Yeah. And even after Blake, like, lashed out at them, like, called them cowards and left them, when she came home, the look on Kali's face when she pulled Blake in for that hug and called her my baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also that talk that Gira gave her just about how proud both he and Carly are of her and, like, the person that she's become before Son broke down the door. It's like the one thing I don't like about that scene.
Man lives in constant agony over the fact that that happened.
It just felt like it ruined a really touching scene for a joke that wasn't funny.
Continue.
But, look, moving away from that, and they do her best to, like, you know, help Blake, like, with everything. And even in, like, all the side material, like, this whole thing of Blake and Carly going to Azor Island, like, doing some fishing together, like, okay, yeah, it was a simulation, but actually, you know, we shouldn't count that then.
You really shouldn't.
Yeah. But, yeah, from literally everything we've seen of these two, like, they are good parents. No doubt.
I'd say the only knock at all I have against them, at all, is they definitely subscribe to a more passive parenting style, where, I mean, they could have made more of an effort to try and get her back.
I mean, for all we know, they could have.
Yeah. And they chose not to, just kind of... I mean, they did it because they believed in Blake and that she wouldn't become a bad person.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's also the case of, like, the more you try and, like, you know, pull them back, the more they're just going to push away.
That is totally possible. So, I mean...
So, for all we know, if they did, like...
It could have made things worse.
Yeah, it could have made things a lot worse.
I mean, as someone who's never been a parent, I mean, I can only look at it from an outsider's perspective and say that just... It looked like a very unenviable position to be put in. So, I guess... And they just kind of landed on... Hope for the best for her, and the moment that she ever decides she needs us again, we'll be there for her, was a pretty solid one, clearly.
Yeah, which, you know, they were.
Yeah. Alright. Well, then here's my question. Who's better? Out of the two. Keep in mind, I do have a joke prepared, depending on your answer.
Oh my god. Well, see, now I'm all the more scared to even, like... I'm still debating it in my head as well.
Uh-huh. Alright, well, I mean, depending on your answer. Depends on the joke that I've got stored in my brainscape.
Okay. Purely because we have more, like, of the two of them, counting, like, everything.
Uh-huh.
I would go Carly, but if we're talking strictly, like, you know, how much of an emotional impact I would say the scene had, I would go Gara.
Okay. But you choose...
Carly.
Yeah, that's what I thought you would say. Oh, as if there was any other answer. Love it. All right.
Where are we putting them?
Tell you what, because I know you want to. Okay. Put Gira at the top of good, and just put Callie at the top.
Well, okay, you know what, let's just do this for now.
As if you won't put Callie at the top. Alright, fine, we'll wait.
Okay.
I know what's up.
Look, okay, I will admit, yes, I do have a particular bias towards Blake and those who are tied with her.
You sure do, but hey, I mean,
Speaking of...
Yang had a baby?
No.
No, okay.
But she did act as a surrogate mother to RWBY in a lot of ways. That's why she's here.
Yeah, when
I'm sure you saw her on in the collection, and you were like, "What's she doing there?"
Yeah, okay. I actually even saw a comment of, like, apparently someone even completely forgot about this, but, like, when Summer disappeared and Tai, like, emotionally shut down, Yang was, like, the one who raised Ruby.
Do we know how long it took for Tai to be able to snap out of it?
I don't know.
Because honestly, the answer to that question does a lot from how I want to rank both Yang and Tai Yang.
That's the thing, yeah.
Like, if this was for a few days to weeks, that's one thing. If Tai Yang checked out for... If he checked out for months...
The way that Yang described it, I wouldn't put it past it if it was years.
Years.
And even then, we can still see, like, you know, Yang putting that whole, like, you know, mother-like, I want to say affection towards, like, not just Ruby, but, like, the whole group.
True, but hang on. Hold up. Okay, you know what? We'll talk about it when we get to Tai Yang specifically. I just had a thought in my head about the time frame, but
yeah. I mean, we know at the very least, like, because of that scene in Ice Queendom, like, you know, Tai was making more of an effort, like, when they were in their teen years.
But I think it even goes a little bit further back than that. And yeah,
it's just we don't have a solid, like, time frame.
We have an inkling because of the Tales of Remnant side series when he was reading the story of the
okay, yeah,
warrior.
true.
He was reading that story, and neither of them looked to be fully teenagers yet.
Yeah, what? True.
I'd wager at the very minimum, like 12 and under, you know?
Yeah, I could see that.
So,
But then again, we also don't know how old they were when Summer left.
we kinda do. I mean, granted, it wasn't the most well conveyed, but I mean, we saw the moment that Summer left. And they looked not too terribly young. From the little we could see. So I want to say Tai Yang was mentally checked out, but was able to come
emotionally
back.
as well.
Well, yeah, emotionally. Was able to bounce back within at least a year or two. Then you take into consideration, I mean, neither Yang or Ruby resent him in any regard for what happened.
Oh, no.
Like, they still have an incredibly loving relationship. So I feel like he couldn't have been so far gone that it really became that much of a horrible problem, you know?
Yeah.
But as to where we would end up putting Yang as a parental substitute as a result... Well...
I mean...
Assuming bare minimum.
As much as I would want to put her in good, there is that time where she almost got herself and Ruby killed.
She did, but I mean, she was also a dumb kid at the time.
Well, yeah, but that is still a thing.
It is. I mean, okay, you know, assuming Tai Yang was in a depressive slump that prevented him from being a good dad for, like, let's just say bare minimum, like, 6 months. That means, like, what? 12 to 14-year-old Yang, somewhere around there, stepped up. That's not nothing.
Yeah.
I have no doubt in my mind that whenever she is ultimately a mother, she'll do a fantastic job. It's hard to rank her when the only real evidence we have of her abilities to do so are from when she was probably not even 13 yet. Certainly couldn't call her bad by any stretch.
Oh, no.
I mean,
Like, she belongs in just a mum/dad at bare minimum, I think.
I would say so, yeah. I mean, I feel like she did the very best someone her age could have ever possibly had done in that situation.
Yeah.
But I also feel like, I mean, any 12, 13, 14-year-old asked to raise their, 2-year younger sibling for a few months would probably have some struggles there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, Yang and RWBY have a great relationship, so there's no problems there. God. So weird. I don't know where to put her.
Wait, hold on. We're talking, teens and whatnot. There's a comic where, Alright, so Summer's, already gone. I want to say they're younger than 10 in that comic.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah. It's also when RWBY is attacked by a bird, quote-unquote, which talks about Summer. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, we will.
I want to say, I don't know, there are, RWBY would have to be, 6 or 7 at least.
Okay.
Based on that comic, and that's, after Summer's, gone.
Which would put Yang at, 7 or 8.
Wait, hold on, what age did I say for RWBY?
You said 6 or 7.
6 or 7. So, Yang would be,
8 or 9.
8
or 9 for Yang. Yeah. Yeah.
I like how part of this is just us, trying to figure out how old were they when their mother left.
You're the one making me think all of this stuff. Ugh.
Okay.
I mean, what are we debating right now? Putting her at the top of the mid tier to the bottom of the good tier? Is that where we're trying to figure out right now?
I feel like it, yeah.
Then, I mean, if I had to choose between those two, I'd put her, I guess, at the bottom of good.
Yeah, you know what?
There are far more good parents in this series than I thought there was.
Right? It's weird.
I went into this expecting it to be the other way around.
I mean, you'd think, with most anime.
Yeah, go figure. Alright, so...
Alright. Now, we're going from one, surrogate parental figure to another, Crow.
Yes.
Just throwing this out there for anyone who even still possibly believes that theory. No, he is not a biological father.
He is not. Or what it is worth. I understand the assumption.
Yeah, I totally do too, because...
I very much understand why one would assume that that's the direction that they were going to go plot-wise. They're not, but I get it.
Yeah, because admittedly, you look at Tai and Summer, and then you look at RWBY, you'd be like, okay, so 95% came from Summer, right?
Right. It's almost goddamn. But if Crow had been her biological dad, then it would have made more sense.
It raised slightly less of an eyebrow.
It would. It really would. But as it is, no biological links whatsoever. And
plus, Yang resembles Tai way more than.
Yeah, so it's one of those situations where one ends up looking more like that. Then again, remember when Raven was just a recolored Yang model? I remember those days.
Yeah.
That was a fun time. Anyway. As Crow has absolutely no biological obligations whatsoever to this family.
Yeah.
The fact he stuck around and did what he did says a lot about the guy.
Yeah, totally.
Damn, my sister abandoned her kids, or her kid, biologically, morally, in the eyes of the law, I have absolutely no obligation whatsoever to do a single goddamn thing about any of this. But sure, I'll help out, you know?
I mean, that is still his niece.
Yep. Yes. Oh, yeah. Specifically, Yang's. Biologically.
Biologically, yes, but let's be real, he's RWBY's uncle, no matter what way you look at it.
Obviously. I'm just saying. as I don't know about you, but like as an uncle, I don't gotta do jack when it comes to the children of my siblings. I am not expected to do any of that, of anything. And unless situations grow ever so very much dire,
I mean, that is true. Like, I have an uncle, like, I never see.
Yeah, so like, uncles do not have to play a role in a niece or nephew's life. That is not something they have to do. And I'd say Crow had a strong argument to just not bother.
But that's not who he is.
No, he was going through his own crap, but he still decided to show up and help out however he could.
Plus, there's, like, you know, everything that was going on with Ty. Like, the woman he had a baby with left, and then the other woman he had a baby with presumably died. Like, he needs a bro.
He needed a bro, and and a bro stepped up most indeed. You know, you've occasionally gone on about how you want to see, their old team name was Stark, right?
Yeah, I want to see a Team Stark prequel.
I want to see a Team Stark prequel too, because I want to know what Tai Yang and Crow's, like, relationship was when they first met.
You know, what we really have is just, like, that one thing Tai says where he, like, said that the skirt at Beacon was a kilt and Crow wore it.
Yeah. I mean, there you go. There's a plot line right there for you. But I mean, I want to see where they started, because I feel like that would help go a long way in explaining the kind. It would go for the purposes of this. It doesn't matter, but it would go a long way to help explain just the kind of person that Crow is, because I mean, the dude's characterized as a very broody individual. So like, the idea that he would, you know, grow up, as it were, and be there for a friend like that. I almost want to say it's very likely that when they first met, they probably did not get along too great.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
So the fact that he has become a person who could be that way, I think, is really cool. I just wanted to say that as a complete aside.
Given where he and Raven came from, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, you know, Ty and Summer, well, Summer especially, like, had a big impact on, like, you know, changing him into ultimately a good person.
I believe that is the case. And I mean, I feel like for a time that was also the case with Raven, but she just kind of slid back. But, you know, we'll talk about her more later.
Yeah.
As far as Crow is... Yeah.
As great as Crow is, we can't also forget, like with Willow, he had his own thing with alcoholism, including like instances where he did put the kids in danger.
He did.
Not knowingly.
He did.
But
no. But I mean, he did. It's still totally a thing.
Yeah. He's doing much better now. For sure.
He is. He absolutely is, and he's done a lot to get better. Man, I mean, I want to put him in the good. I'm just trying to figure out where on the slider scale. Like, and before you made me remember the notable existent, you know, cons. I was gonna say, like, put him underneath Pietro. What do you think?
I don't know. Because, okay, another aspect of Crow is, like, he said his semblance, like, you know, him being around makes it tough on family. So I imagine he wasn't around a lot.
Right.
But, you know, always wanted to be there where he could.
Okay.
Just was scared that his semblance might make things worse.
So then that sounds to me like somebody who did his best as often as he could when he did show up. Some errors along the way. Okay. Then I would either put him just above or even maybe just under Saffron and Terracotta.
Ooh, okay.
Because I feel like Saffron and Terracotta are kind of our median, you know, when it comes to being a good parent. Like, they're just solidly in the middle of, yep, good parents. Nothing super notable, but nothing really detracting either, you know?
Yeah.
So, I would say Crow is a character as a parental substitute of high highs and low lows.
Yeah, okay, I could, like, just...
I would put him right there, yeah.
Okay.
If you have anything else you want to add to switch that up, feel free.
No, I think that's a good place for him.
Okay, so now we have the fun task of figuring...
Oh, boy.
Okay. Yeah, Raven.
Okay. So, we don't know exactly how long, but we know shortly after Yang was born, Raven left.
Yeah, she just... And for all we know, just, like, without word, just, like, out of there.
Yeah, and the only, like, thing we have as to why, well, one of a few things, I guess, is her saying to Summer that, you know, Summer is better at that life more than she is.
Right.
So, the best angle I could give Raven is, this kid needs a mum, but it's not me.
Yeah, I mean, to be as kind as possible to her, the best case scenario for her would definitely be, alright, I'll give this being a mom thing a try, and then just realize that that was not gonna happen. So she cut and run for the purposes of hey, maybe someone else will do better. But
Yeah, and
I don't feel like, yes?
Yeah, and, like, well, yeah, she did clearly, like, check in on Yang as a bud.
Yeah.
Like, she was not, like, present in Yang's life
At all.
ever.
Yang only knew what Tai told her.
Yeah. And then when Yang finally did track Raven down...
You know how that went.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Wasn't great. Also, I feel like an important note is that I sincerely doubt that Raven left assuming Summer would pick up the pieces.
Yeah, no, that's like the best case scenario I could say for Raven.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's like the best case. As is, straight up, I mean, I can only assume that the actual canonical thing is that she, like, man, nah, this ain't for me. I can't do this. I'm gonna go back to being a bandit. That's just way better for me.
Yeah, no,
So,
just robbing and killing innocent people.
Yeah, I wanna rob, kill, kidnap. That's my thing. That's what I'm better at. You know, y'all go off and do your own thing. Good luck with all that. Like, that's the best. That sounds like the canonical thing. And then later she's all like, oh, so there's like this god out there and the world's gonna basically freaking end. Okay, well, I'm a coward, so I'm gonna go into self-preservation mode.
Yeah, I'm gonna just peace out and just try and stay as low on her radar as possible.
She just finger gunned and walked backwards out the door, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, we can also address, like, because of that Volume 9 animatic, she is back.
She is. Which is a good. But she has got a hell of a lot to make up for.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'd say she has more to make up for than someone like Willow does.
Oh, for sure, because at least Willow was there.
Yeah. It was something.
And I mean, yeah, Raven did save Yang's life once.
She was also explicitly, I'm only ever gonna do it once.
Yeah, she even told Crow to tell Yang, don't expect that kindness again.
Like, yeah, no, man, if she gets into a situation where she's gonna die, I'm just gonna let her. So, that sounds like best of the worst tier to me.
Wait, so
bad. Yeah. I mean, no direct abuse was ever truly dispersed, but I mean, she's pretty much the definition of a deadbeat mom. Like, had the baby, peaced out. good luck. I ain't coming back, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's still plenty of time for... Well, yeah, there's still time for her to do better.
Oh yeah, she could easily redeem herself. Although, I feel like that's probably going to end up coming at the cost of her life. If it does, we'll see when the time comes.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be, like, she's breaking her rule of, you know, everybody gets one. But it's gonna come at the cost of her own life, and then she's gonna trust Yang with the Spring Maiden power.
Plus, I mean, it just makes sense thematically, because it's like, her entire thing is that she's in self-preservation and she's doing what's best for her to stay alive. So sacrificing her life to save the person that she said she would otherwise just entirely abandon. It just makes narrative sense. But that hasn't happened yet, so we can't count that yet.
Nope, not yet, but hey,
So
that does happen.
That's all theoretical. Yeah, that's all theoretical. As it stands,
I mean,
she is...
If that happens, where would you put her?
If it did happen, it wouldn't just undo the things she did. It would be a great gesture. And
I'd at the very least be willing to put her in the bottom of, like, the middle. Like, just a mom slash dad.
Okay. Yeah. So, if you're watching this in the future and Raven did, in fact, do that,
yeah, if that happens, then she's here.
Yeah.
But as of right now, she's here.
Right now! Yeah, right there. There you go. Okay. 2 parents left to go.
Yep, Tai.
Alright, Tai Yang. Jesus Christ, this dude.
Yeah. Like, okay, I say Jesus Christ, this poor man, like, because, like, Pietro, his daughter died twice. This guy has had, like, 2 women that he loved and had kids with just disappear on him.
Yeah, 1 confirmed abandoned, 1 assumed dead. That's a lot of grief to go through.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm amazed that Yang and RWBY are doing as well as they are as people.
I wouldn't be... You know what? That's actually something we also could have brought up for Crow.
That is.
Like, you know, he was a surrogate second dad.
Yeah.
For that family.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
I'm still comfortable where Crow is, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, sure. I just thought, you know, that's something we could bring up. But...
Absolutely. Like, you can tell that Tai loves the ever-loving hell out of his daughters. No question.
Yeah.
And obviously did his absolute best.
Yeah, and...
But also very clearly had his moments of weakness, too. Understandably, but he did.
Yeah, and, like, some scenes, I reckon, like, you know, are worth noting in terms of, like, putting him towards the good tier. The end of Volume 3, when he's just, like, asleep in that chair beside Ruby's bed.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, I am not leaving her side until she wakes up.
Yeah, no, he was right there the whole damn time. Yeah, he's also,
Then there's all the support that he gave Yang into, like, after she lost her arm.
Yeah, and, like, you know, he wanted to go and help find RWBY, but, you know, Yang needed her, and he just had to figure out... He had to make that choice, and... I mean, he is responsible, primarily, for snapping Yang as much out of her funk as, you know, could possibly be attributed, so... That's also great. You gotta give him credit for that.
Absolutely.
He also visited Summer's grave before he had a design. Like, that man didn't even have a confirmed character design yet, and he was visiting that grave with RWBY. So, you know, that's a plus, I gotta say.
And you know what? I was gonna bring up. Isn't he a confirmed teacher at Signal?
That sounds incredibly familiar to me. Yes.
Well, okay, I know RWBY said that about Crow.
Yeah.
But
I don't know what Tai Yang did for employment. That sounds like accurate though.
Yeah, because I know like Tai didn't go out on missions.
Well,
for a
he
long
couldn't.
Time.
He couldn't. Literally, the only person he could have possibly asked for the purposes of babysitting was Crow, and that was a crapshoot.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, no. He is mentioned as a teacher at Signal.
Okay, alright. So, was employed, worked his job, raised his kids, read them stories, loved them dearly, told them the right amount of information considering the age that they were at when they started asking questions about where on earth their parents went, or, their moms went. So,
yeah.
I have absolutely no problem ranking him as a very high tier, RWBY parent. My gut is telling me he's either just above or just below Pietro, but what do you think?
Ooh, Like, okay, well, he did, shut down.
He did.
For a while. The dude lost 2 women that he loved.
He did. No, it was for a very good reason.
Yeah. And, he was still there. And, once he, got better. Like, he's been there for Ruby and Yang.
Yeah. The only thing I do not have an answer for is what he's doing right now.
Well, for all he knows, both his daughters are presumed dead.
Well, yes. But, I mean, like, wasn't the last... Wait, no.
The last time we ever saw him was Ruby's
message. Last time we saw him on the show, he got Ruby's message, right.
Yeah, which then shut off, and he was like, no, come back!
Right.
Because that was, like, the first time he'd seen her in so long.
Right. But that's why I'm just trying to ponder, like... Why has no one contacted him? All that time in Atlas and nobody...
Well, okay, global communication isn't really a thing.
Well, yeah, but Ruby still sent Yang a letter that one time.
Okay, yeah, true.
So that's something that's always kind of confused me. So they spent all that time in Atlas, and letters are apparently an option. So, I mean, like... What's he doing still in their house? Like, why didn't he go to Atlas or something? Are we gonna see him in We should see him in Vacuo. Where else is he gonna be going? Like, come on.
I mean, true.
I mean, but that's not really his fault, so I can't really dock any points against him on that front. I feel like he's just completely uninformed right now.
Yeah.
But, that aside, I still feel... I told you where I feel like I would put him, but, I mean...
Yeah, just
I'll let
below...
you have the...
Just below Pietro and above Oz.
If you feel comfortable with that.
You know what? Yeah. Nah. I can agree with that.
Okay, if you can. As I'm saying, man, like, it's... 'Tis up to ye. I'm just offering my perspective, and you can balance it against your own.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a joint effort.
It is, yes, absolutely. Yeah. But, I mean, I'm trying to make sure that it's not just me doing it, and you're included here.
Yeah. Alright, last one.
Summer! Summer is interesting in that she's more of a plot... She's more of a plot device than a character. True,
and, well... Okay, we don't have any real, like, things to detract for her.
No, not really.
It's also just that we haven't seen a lot of her.
That's also exactly the thing. It's like, well, we heard she was a great mom. We haven't seen anything, but we Yang seemed pretty confident when she said it. That's all we really get.
Yeah.
Like, literally, the first time we actually see her walk and talk was last season of... Therefore, season 9, man. Like,
yeah, and that was, like, right before she left, and who knows what happened.
Yeah, we still don't actually have all the context here for that one. So, I mean, I feel comfortable calling her good.
Oh, for sure.
Nobody has a single bad thing to say about her. But at the exact same time, for as important as she is to the development of so many of the other characters, I don't have much to say about her.
Yeah, like, there's all the more reason I want a Team Stark prequel.
Yeah, get more info on Summer. Like, who is this woman?
Yeah.
Like, Like, she's important to Ruby's development. She's important to Yang, and she's important to Tai Yang. It's like she.
I wouldn't be surprised if she was important
Raven and
to
Crow.
Yeah, Raven and Crow.
Yeah, like, she's important to all of these other very important characters, and her existence and disappearance have affected them greatly. But as an audience, we have so very little to go off of.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, I hear she's a good... Yang said she was a good mom, and RWBY certainly seemed to think so, too. So, I assume she's good.
Yeah,
good?
That's good enough to put her in good.
Yeah, so I...
But where in good?
Where in good? I have no idea. We don't know how good of a mom she was. We have a biased opinion of her 2 daughters. That's all we got.
I mean, basically.
Somewhere around Ozma.
I have...
That's my guess.
Thing is, I have a personal reason to want to put her a bit higher because that last thing she said to Ruby and Yang before she left. I love you just the way you are.
That's true.
That's something that my own mum has said to me.
That is adorable.
So, like, that hits me hard. It makes me want to put her a bit higher. But I just don't know where and how much.
Yeah, I mean, just through what we know, I either above or below Ozma is where I feel like she's where she would end up. But
yeah,
if the show would want to give me some, if the show wants to give me some solid flashbacks of her being an incredibly awesome and loving mom, I'd be happy to bump her up some notches. But I can't right now.
Oh man, give us a flashback of just like her baking cookies. Like,
that'd be cute.
And Ruby and Yang being so excited. And
just be good.
They try and reach for one, but she like slaps her hand away because it just came out of the oven. Don't burn yourself.
Exactly. Like, there's room for her to be a top tier. I have no doubt of that in my mind. What we have ain't enough to do that right now.
Yeah, but I can comfortably put her like, right beside Tai. That's cute.
There you go. You know, looking at this, I can't help but feel that we might be a little biased.
A little bit, but like, look, all these are legitimately good people. Like, they have their faults, and admittedly, like, some of them are just because, well, we don't have like a lot of scenes with them.
They're human.
But at the very bare minimum, they are better than these 8.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Alright then. Okay.
Alright, so when it comes to best, are we putting like a mom and a dad in there?
I mean,
I think that's fair.
If that's what we're doing, that means Kali and Klein.
Yeah, you know what? I'm comfortable with that. Like,
to the shock of literally goddamn nobody. Like, of course, this is what we ended up on.
I mean, if we were going purely by bias, then on my end it would be this.
Okay, well,
but if it were,
I'm here too. This is a group thing. All right.
But if it were just on your end.
I mean, fair. And yet here we are. We're okay. So, okay, all right. There's bias, but we still showed some restraint here.
Oh yeah.
We did our best, damn it.
Yeah, well,
well, there you go.
I feel good about this.
Yep, I accept it.
Yeah.
I know what I'm about.
More people listening good than I immediately expected.
Yeah, me too. I had this conception in my brain of like, goddamn, like 90% of all of the parents at RWBY are assholes. And then we made this. It's like, oh, I guess there's just some really, really bad ones that, kind of taint the stew, as it were.
Yeah. And admittedly, like, you can debate, like, I don't know, maybe some people would debate, like, Carmel and Little Miss belong in bad, or, like, Jimmy belongs in Look 'Em Up.
Right. You could probably also make a debate for some of the characters that we don't know much about, like, you know, Pyrrha and Ren's parents being, you know, just middle tier, stuff like that.
Yeah, I could see that just because of, like, how little we see them.
So it'd be like, well, we have absolutely no context whatsoever, so in the middle they go.
But
that
at least,
sort of thing.
with what we do have, we can tell they are good.
Yeah, bare minimum.
Yeah. I'm gonna just throw this out there. If Nora's, unseen mother was in here, she'd be in bottom 2.
Sure she would. Sure she would. My goodness.
Yeah, I would
Ah,
absolutely
there you-
put her below Raven.
Yeah.
Like... Yeah, Raven abandoned her daughter, but at least she left her with a home!
There's a difference. Like, all right, good luck out there, 6-year-old.
Sheesh.
Have fun out there. Whoosh. Criminy. Okay, you could also very easily... as I even made the effort to attempt, you could also make some debate on putting Jacques at the best of the worst.
Yeah,
I'm not going to. I tried. You made me give up on that pursuit. He exploded, and I'm happy. All right then. There you go. There's our very perhaps obvious tier list.
Admittedly, but I mean, it was still fun just like talking about, and you know what? Maybe I'll leave a link to this tier list in the description, and anyone who watches this video may
Go for it.
like rate these people however you want.
We'll take any excuse to talk about RWBY, so like I ain't complaining.
I mean, yeah.
All right then.
I mean, we don't know how long a hiatus we have, so
We sure don't, so we're probably going to be coming up with a lot of weird stuff.
yeah. That's another thing. Maybe leave us idea of like what other maybe tier lists or discussions we could do in the future.
We're desperate. Yeah.
But yeah. With all that said, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.